Imagine waking up in a pitch-black room to the sound of your door being forced open. You've heard the stories of recent robberies, and you're terrified. You shout a warning silence, the door bursts open, hitting you in the dark. In a split-second decision to save your own life, you strike back with a knife, only to realize, in the pale moonlight, that the robber bleeding at your feet is actually your best friend playing a prank. This isn't a horror movie script, it is the harrowing true story of US versus Chong, one of the most foundational cases in Philippine criminal law. Does the law punish you for a tragedy born out of a mistake? Or does the criminal mind require something more than just a fatal blow? The year was 1908. Chong was a cook at the officers' quarters in Fort McKinley, Rizal. He shared a small, detached room with a houseboy named Pascual Gualberto. Because the door had no proper lock, the two roommates had a system for safety. They would hook the door from the inside and wedge a chair against it. They also had a strict agreement: if either returned home late, he must knock and identify himself. At about 10 p.m., Chong was fast asleep. He was suddenly jolted awake by the sound of someone trying to force the door open. In the pitch-black room, he sat up and shouted twice, "Who is there?" There was no answer. The intruder continued to push. Suddenly, the door gave way, and the chair wedged against it flew back, striking Chong above the knee. Fearing for his life and certain that a robber was attacking him, Chong seized his knife and struck out wildly. The intruder retreated to the porch. As Chong stepped out into the moonlight, his heart sank. The robber was actually his roommate, Pascual. Pascual died from the wounds the following day. Chong was arrested and charged with assassination. The trial court found him guilty of homicide, but he appealed to the Supreme Court. The central question for the court was, can a person be held criminally liable for an act that would be lawful if the facts were as he believed them to be, even if he was mistaken? In other words, if Chong thought he was killing a robber in self-defense, does the law punish him for accidentally killing his friend? The Supreme Court reversed the conviction and acquitted Chong. They ruled that he acted under a mistake of fact. The court explained that for most crimes, an act alone isn't enough. There must be a guilty mind. Without malice or an evil intent to do wrong, there is no crime. The court applied the maxim Ignorantia Facti Excusat. That means if a person acts on a mistaken belief held in good faith and without negligence, they are not liable. If the intruder had been a robber, Chong's actions would have been legal self-defense. The court judged Chong based on how the situation appeared to him in that dark room. His fear was reasonable, and his mistake was honest and was done in good faith. US versus Chong proves that the law looks beyond the blood on one's hands to the intent within the heart. Without an evil mind, there is no criminal. Master the law with case closed. Juris Doctor PH. Don't leave your legal education to chance. Hit that subscribe button now.